The free-to-play game mode is still some of my favorite content in old-school RuneScape. So here's the challenge. We're going to be building 10 trophy free-to-play accounts to eventually bank stand one day and look like a massive nerd. We're looking to complete a list of goals and unlocks and do it entirely in free-to-play. No donations, no money from a main, no breaking TOS. My name is JacobOSRS, and this is my journey. I generally don't have a plan for each of these videos at the start. I've set an overall list of goals to work towards, however, there's not exactly a straight path from start to finish. I tend to bounce around and do whatever I'm in the mood for at the time. This spontaneous playstyle first landed us in the Corsair resource area, continuing on woodcutting and firemaking. The levels came in quick at the start. My initial firemaking level was only 55, so it wasn't long at all until we were level 60. This is a great time to mention the update that Jagex decided to introduce to the Foresters campfires. Now, for those of you who saw my 1 hour of multi-logging video, you'll know that the campfires play a key role in reducing the click intensity of regular firemaking. Previously, you were able to offer logs continuously into the campfire for only 1/3 the experience you would receive for burning the log individually. However, on the 29th of May this year, Jagex decided to change this. Now, you'll receive full experience for burning a log on a forester's campfire. However, the burn rate has been reduced from 4 ticks per log previously to now 9 ticks per log. I found a clip from my archive of what the previous burn speed and experience looked like before the changes. I then tried to recreate this clip under the new circumstances to illustrate the difference. Essentially, the logs burn much slower, but reward much more experience. I then tried my hand in making a table to compare some of the numbers regarding experience rate, logs required, and cost, and I gotta give a shout out to Fishchunk for this idea. Now his spreadsheets are much more advanced than mine, but I'm gonna go ahead and use the excuse that I'm a filthy tradesman by occupation, and I don't really have a damn clue how to use these Excel charts. For some clarification here, this chart assumes you're only firemaking logs from your bank, and that each inventory withdrawn from the bank is done consistently within 5 seconds. Assuming these conditions, not only have our experience per hour rates increased across the board, but also the cost to buy logs for 99 firemaking has been reduced significantly. This puts our cheapest method, the maple logs, at a cost of only 2.1 million GP for the skill cape. These numbers were calculated using the Grand Exchange prices as of July 24th of this year, and as always are subject to change. Firemaking levels weren't the only thing to report, of course. The woodcutting levels also came rolling in, and when you've got not much else going on, even the occasional random event can be exciting. I'm getting so close to the end with these now, and this mime event on Jacob 5 marks the final outfit pieces that I need for all 10 accounts. Jacob 5 still needs 2 of the emotes though, and not long later we lucked out on another mime event to complete one of those emotes. My woodcutting and firemaking journey eventually concluded with us reaching level 75 in both skills, and thus it was time to move on to another venture. The year 2021 brought us what is, in my opinion, one of the coolest looking places in all of RuneScape. Even today, with all the Varlamore updates now coming into the game, I still feel like this humble dwarven city stacks up to some of the most aesthetically pleasing places in Gelenor. I had to venture back here once more to complete the collection log and obtain the Baronite Mace on all of my accounts. So I sent my army to the Mind Golems. Originally, I was picking up the Mind Runes, Noted Rune Essence, Baronite Shards, the Mind Cores, and all of the uncut gems. Although I'm pretty sure I stopped picking up the gems at some point just to save on time depositing my loot in the bank. After a few days, I was the proud owner of 10 Baronite Maces. That marks a section of our goals completed, and also a green logged section in the collection log on all 10 accounts. Ignore this disgusting hammer thing though, that's for the pay-to-play nerds. So as you know, I have many accounts. The free-to-play Ultimate Iron Man is still running strong. This account actually got to stack a few beginner clues during the process of grinding 70 crafting. Since clues don't despawn on logout, and also won't despawn passively for an entire hour, I decided to get pretty crazy and stockpile them for a few weeks. At the end of our goal, we were left with 24 beginner clue scrolls to blitz through. I acquired the minor beginner scroll case from my 50th casket, and these remaining caskets left me with 3 unique items: the Rune Scimitar Ornament Kit Guthics, frog slippers and the sandwich lady bottoms. My next destination on this account was back to the Corsair Cove Ogre's Cave to rebuild my rune stacks. You actually can't buy law runes or nature runes from any shops in free-to-play, so ogresses are the best way to build these up for teleports and alchemy spells. The first diamond drop was swiftly crafted into the coveted Amulet of Power. While training on long range, I achieved 40 defense and got to equip my green dragonhide body for the first time. And of course, I had to reclaim my shaman mask that I dropped in the previous video. Also on my group Iron Man here, I'm doing Desert Treasure 1 for the first time, and I'm already level 99 thieving. So for everyone out there that used 5 inventories of lockpicks and still got fucked by this chest, my advice to you is just get 99, bro. At this point, I wanted something simple to do that didn't involve clues. Contrary to what this series might suggest, I don't actually like completing clues very much, so I opted to train some smithing via smelting iron bars at the Edgeville furnace. My other option would have been to craft gold bars into necklaces, however on July 5th of this year, it was much more profitable to be smelting iron bars. The prices of these items tend to fluctuate, with both activities being very similar in execution. My decision generally comes down to simply put profit per hour. I grinded from level 60 to 65 smithing and profited somewhere in the realm of 15 million GP. So back when I had been killing golems in Camdozaal, Jagex introduced an update to clue scrolls allowing players to stack multiple at a time, in the form of scroll boxes. Your cap is limited to only 2 scroll boxes in the beginning, but in free-to-play you can increase that to 4 scroll boxes if you open 100 beginner caskets. These drops are not RNG based, but instead are guaranteed, similar to the 600th casket always unlocking the Explore emote. So given that I already had 100 caskets stacked on every account from the previous video, I figured opening them now was the right call. I could have tried to save up all 6,000 for a huge opening party, but 5,000 remaining will still be plenty, and the ability to stack those 2 additional scroll boxes will be a huge buff moving forward. Unlike some of the clue tiers in the members game, beginner clues don't really have any super rare drops. All uniques on the beginner table are rewarded at a rate of 1 in 360. There are 15 unique items on the table, and each casket on average will grant 2 rolls of loot, so we should see a unique item every 12 caskets or so. It doesn't get too wild with what items we can actually get from these. Most of them are cosmetic and none of them are super rare. However, there is something very rare we could get from a casket, and that is the concept of a multiple rare. Getting 2 unique items in 1 clue casket is possible, and I had this happen a total of 4 separate times during my openings across the 10 accounts. Furthermore, the odds of seeing a triple unique are much simpler to work out, although they are much more devastating. All rolls of the casket must be unique, and this occurrence in itself is a 1 in 13,824 chance. However, factoring in that only 1/3 of caskets have 3 loot rolls, this diminishes our odds to a measly 1 in 41,472. Given that I plan to complete 6,000 beginner clues during this series, if I were to stop there and never complete another beginner clue, which is a solid possibility I will say, I would only have about a 13% chance of ever seeing this triple unique casket. Essentially, a triple unique beginner clue is free-to-play's 3rd age pickaxe. I had preset all of my account's banks in advance to have loot tabs set up for all the items the beginner clue caskets would give me. After opening, I combined all of the items into one single bank tab, which looked like this. If you ever wanted a good representation of what loot from these beginner clues looks like, here you go. I reckon it's been long enough and we've seen enough progress to have a look at the goal sheets and tick off some completions. I won't always be bringing these up in every video because sometimes there just isn't enough progress to be worth showing. However, today we're going to have a look back and see where we're standing on the overall progress for this series. For page 1, the new items we added here are the Baronite Guard and the completed Baronite Mace. On page 2, unfortunately, although we opened 1,000 beginner caskets in this episode, none of the items available on the collection log were obtained on all 10 accounts individually, so we won't be checking off any of these items just yet. For page 3, we have nothing to report as well because I just didn't focus on any of these during the past 2 episodes. Page 4 saw us complete all of the clogs for random events, minus the stale baguette. This item is so turbo rare that we haven't even seen one of these yet. Finally, for the emotes page, there was one final mime emote that was missing on Jacob 5 earlier. However, while star mining and editing this video, I was able to obtain that. This leaves the only remaining emotes to be the Smooth Dance, Crazy Dance, and Party emote, all rewarded from the holiday event, which I just forgot to do earlier this year. That will have to wait until next year. And of course, there's the coveted Explore emote, which will take a further 500 beginner clues per account to complete. Well, that's all I have for today. My personal life has gotten a lot busier as of late. I finished my welding apprenticeship and acquired a new job, so uploads are going to be a bit more sparse moving forward. I do want to keep on this grind, however, I'm only doing this for fun and the time I can really dedicate to this journey is very limited. Anyways, thank you all for watching today. Drop a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the series thus far, and I shall see you all next time. Happy scaping, gamers.